Have you ever wanted to be a tech priest during the biblical floods? Oh boy, do I have the game for you. The Garry's Mod Game Mode Flood. Admittedly, it's been around for a while, but I've been using it to avoid working on the other reviews, so I guess we better talk about it. If I remember correctly, there used to be more servers for this game mode, but I only really play these two. But that's okay. At least they have a US and EU server, so when I get bored of playing with my fellow Americans, I can switch to the Europeans and Russians. I like the Russians. But what do? Survive. With flair.
Hey, fuckface, fuck you, quit it.
It's vodka, straight vodka.
To be more in depth, the game happens in 5 stages. You start with 4.5 minutes to build your boat. It's not a lot at first, but once you get used to building, it's plenty. That's the build phase. Next, you have some time to get on your boat before the flood happens. After the flood, you have the fighting stage, and finally the last to reset it all. But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Are you one of those people who bought Garry's Mod but never figured it out? Is it just that grayed out space in your Steam library that you fear? Not to worry. I can hopefully explain Flood to you. Again, Divinity server Flood, the rest might be different. So, you use WASD to get around, etc, etc. Press and hold the Q button to bring up the menu. You'll use this to join teams, buy weapons, and most importantly, buy props. What are props? Props are just stuff. Things you see. They all have a rating for how good they float, a health, and a cost. We will get into building later. For now, just know that you buy these props by clicking on them. That will spawn the prop. You then use the physics gun to place the props in the orientation you want. Hold E when holding an object for more precise controls. Right-click to freeze them in place, and press R to unfreeze everything. But you should probably weld first. To weld, get a few floating props down first, then you either use the scroll wheel or the number keys to switch to your tool gun. This can be tricky, but to use it you go to the Q menu, this part, and select the weld tool. Now the tool gun will weld, but there are other tools as well. To weld, you put an X on one prop, and another X on the prop you want welded to it. Or spam weld as fast as you can on all your props. Whatever works. Once you've built your seaworthy vessel, you wait for the round to end and jump on. You'll find out pretty quick if you built a shitty boat. If you make it to the fighting phase, then congratulations! You have a boat. Now you have to fight for it. Shoot at other players' boats to drop them into the naughty water, while staying afloat yourself. And that's the game. You earn money through killing other players' props, and you use that to buy your own props for boats, or to buy weapons eventually. If you run out of money, there are always free props to use. They are really kinda bad though. It would take a lot to win with free props. Let's talk about building. What I call base pieces are usually large pieces at the center of your boat that keeps everything afloat. Armor pieces are usually metal and really high health but don't float very well. You can weld those to the side of the base piece. That's a basic boat. You can deviate and get creative from there. If you take the time at it, you could build some pretty cool boats. Or you could be a bastard and just spam the highest health props that still float and weld them all together. I have a couple of creations that I really like. I'll share some tips. Pallets fit in this hole in the ball pits. Only in one direction though, like a USB drive. Another good design is tires at the base, couches for armor. Hell yeah. And if you're building a money boat, you might as well take advantage of this little number. Money boats are so cheap though. How ironic. Likewise, vending machine boats are good and reliable, but will get you shot down quick for being uncreative. Creativity is really the name of the game, as well as layers. A good boat is like a good ogre. Layers, baby. And don't leave your base exposed, or you might as well not have put any armor at all. Sometimes there are various events that can happen, including limiting what props you can use and turning everyone into pirates who fight hand to hand. Only in the pirate mode can you jump on other people's boats though, otherwise you'll just be thrown off. The weapons have a good variety, and you'll need different guns for different engagement distances. So have a sniper ready, and also an automatic. Luckily, the game gives you these for free to start. Just don't waste your sniper ammo before you need it. It would probably be a bit daunting to be a new player when we have people with rocket launchers and M249s, but just remember the point is to make money, not always to be the last to survive. Grinding in this mode means building as economically as possible, then maxing your damage during the fight phase. Doing that, you can make a lot of money quick. You may not live very long into the round if you build a shitty boat though, so you have to build economically, but with respect to the item's health. Just keep yourself up long enough to make that motherfucker sorry he built next to you. Bide your time, and you can make the money you need to catch up on the weapons. But why in the hell make a video about Flood?
Because it's so much fun, Chan. Get it?
It's peak Gmod. It's Gmod, but actually a game. Let me explain. Dark RP is just being edgy, and the cinema server is just for pirating movies. The themed RP servers are for fantasy fulfillment. A case could be made for Death Run or Surf, but those are not unique to Gmod. Trouble in Terrorist Town or Prop Hunt? Please. Every fucking game has those. As far as I understand, Flood is unique. The building could only work in Gmod. Other games didn't hesitate to steal everything fucking else, but they just couldn't steal Flood. That's why I keep coming back to it, I suppose. It's so unique. It would be awesome if somebody would make a standalone Flood game that had more, but nobody has, to my knowledge. So, I'm right back here. And that's why I made this short little video. Just some appreciation for that autistic game mode which keeps me hooked.
Oh, hey, nice bow, bro. Nice bow. Oh, you got a lot of talk in you, bro, huh?
You die.
Oh, you're so funny. I report you on phone for cheating. Sound like. Oh, I can hear from you right now, bro.
Shut up.
Oh, I report you on phone for cheating. You're so funny.
Maybe I'll show some real appreciation one day. Until then, show me some appreciation and like the damn video. Damn? You get it? Alright, fuck me, I'm done.